let's continue with Dragon.
All right.
And we all appreciate and how we all appreciate all the work that you guys on the ground, both in Houston and Hawthorne. It takes a heap of folks to make this happen, and we just happen to be up here, but all you folks working on the ground, we're all part of a big team. Thanks a lot for making this happen.
Thanks very much for those fine words, Don. We are going to continue boat loading down here, and we'll give you a call when we're complete.
Okay, copy that. And this is Joe. You want me to go for the CBS camera uninstall?
And Joe, we're ready for you to uninstall the camera.
And now that the Dragon spacecraft is firmly attached to its berthing port on the Harmony module, the station's robotic arm has been reactivated and locked into place. It will remain attached to the grapple pin on the Dragon spacecraft. The crew's activities with the robotic arm are completed, and now Joe Acaba will move on to disassembling the centerline berthing camera system, the CBCS by its acronym. That essentially helped the crew with alignment before the Dragon was installed on the berthing port. So all of the activities have gone very smoothly on the Orbit 2 shift under direction of Flight Director Courtney McMillan here in Houston in the International Space Station Flight Control Room, as well as out in Hawthorne, California. That team, overseen by Mission Director Marco Villa, has been working in close proximity to each other in terms of on the voice loops. Obviously, they're a coast away, but they are in continuous contact with one another to choreograph all of the day's activities associated with this historic day with the Dragon spacecraft arriving at the International Space Station just before 9 a.m. Central Time. The official grapple time of the Dragon to the station's robotic arm by astronaut Don Pettit was 8:56 a.m. Central, 9:56 this morning Eastern Time. And while all of those activities ran a couple of hours late, the end game was the success of the Dragon spacecraft, the first commercial cargo vehicle arrival at the International Space Station. Quite a bit of time was made up in the after the grapple, arriving at the point where the Dragon was berthed to the International Space Station, and that berthing officially designated as 11:02 when Stage 2 capture was completed with the bolt loading, 11:02 a.m. Central, 12:02 p.m. Eastern Time, at a Dragon mission elapsed time of 3 days, 8 hours, and 18 minutes. The next steps for the crew on board are to begin the actual vestibule leak check. That's the small area between the hatchways on the station side and on the Dragon side. The crew will perform leak checks to ensure a good seal between the two spacecraft before what's known as vestibule outfitting can begin. And that essentially is the point where the crew can essentially equalize the pressure between the vestibule, the hatches on the Dragon side and on the station side to ensure an equal amount of pressure exists on both sides of the station hatchway on the Harmony module. And that will lead to additional work by the crew to begin installing dual cables. If they can only get to one today, that's fine, but it's essentially a power and data cable positioned at the hatchway on the station side. That will be installed to provide power and data link between the station and Dragon. And then obviously the second cable is for redundancy. That can be done as well before the crew ends its work day this afternoon. But in any case, everything's gone very smoothly, and we do plan to hold a mission status briefing on all of today's activities and a look ahead at what's in store for hatch opening and ingress into the Dragon scheduled for Saturday. That mission status briefing today is still scheduled for noon, a little less than an hour from now, about 45 minutes from now. There will be a phone bridge established for that, so be sure, news media, be sure to call the Johnson Space Center newsroom to be tied into that briefing if you cannot attend in person. The planned participants for today's mission status briefing are Holly Ridings, who was on the lead shift. She's the lead station flight director for this Dragon mission to the station. She has been on console, or was on console, throughout the night and completed her shift at the point where Dragon was captured by the station's robotic arm. She'll be joined here in Houston by Space Station Program Manager Mike Suffredini. And then two additional participants that are out in Hawthorne, California will also participate remotely and be tied into the press briefing as well. SpaceX Chief Executive Officer, CEO, and Chief Designer Elon Musk, along with NASA Commercial Orbital Transportation Services Program Manager Alan Lindenboyer. They will be participating remotely from California.
Is the station go ahead?
Yeah, just wanted to let you know we think this bolt loading for us down here is going to take about an hour. And once that's complete, we'll call you up, and then we'll be ready to start up with the Dragon vestibule pressurization check across the interface.
Copy that. Thanks for the heads up. That'll give us all a chance to have a bit of a break before we start in on the vestibule.
Sounds good. Enjoy the break.